Chapter 9. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel secure anymore. Huzur looked at her fiercely, his voice trembling.
Get out.
Macera blinked, stunned.
Huh?
I said get out.
He thundered, his tone cracking like lightning. He clenched his teeth, turning his back to her as if afraid his gaze might betray what he truly felt. Macera's heart skipped painfully. She ran to the door, closing it behind her. Because she knew she had burned his heart. Leaning against the door, tears welled in her eyes as she whispered,
I'm really sorry, Huzur. I know you stopped your uncle that night. You even threatened him. You protected me even though we're enemies. You always fought fairly. And
Her voice broke.
It's okay. Keep hating me like that. I don't have any other choice but to keep hiding my secret until these 6 months end, and I find what's hidden in that mansion.
At the same time, Huzur sat on the other side of the door, breathing heavily. He loosened the top button of his shirt. His vision blurred. He couldn't speak. Words had abandoned him. Without realizing it, they both leaned back against the same door. Separated yet bound by the same silence. Two broken hearts divided by wood and pride. An hour later, Huzur broke into the garden, grabbed his car keys, and drove toward the port. The wind was fierce, cold, almost mocking him. There, his yacht waited. Roya. He traced his fingers over the carved letters of her name, and a nostalgic smile flickered on his lips. Only water could soothe his flames, and only the sea could listen without judgment. He started the engine, rowed far until the shore disappeared, then turned it off. Silence, except for the rhythm of the waves. The sea breathing, the wind whispering. He climbed to the upper deck and stood there, surrounded by nothing but endless blue. The tide rose and fell like a heartbeat. The sound of the waves mingling with the cold wind, playing his soul like a secret chord. But in that navy blue water, he still saw the reflection of flames. The cursed night that never stopped burning inside him. The screams, the fire devouring their house, the smoke that still clung to his lungs, and then the darkness. Since that night, he had known. His world had ended. What remained was just a frozen heart pretending to live. And yet, the only fire that refused to fade was the one burning in her eyes. He clenched his fist, remembering Macera's face, the defiance in her gaze, the sharp edge of her words. His breath came rough, his voice low.
You want to play with fire, Miss Yalmaz? Then I'll show you how it swallows everything in the end.
He came to the sea seeking peace, but instead, the water mirrored the storms he tried to drown. Same time, night fell softly over the mansion. The storm of words and pride now buried under silence. In Mujaza's room, the small lamp flickered like a sleepy heartbeat. Macera sat beside the boy, holding a thin storybook with a worn cover. Its title faded but still readable, The Little Lantern.
Do you want me to read this one, my little miracle?
She asked, her voice a tired whisper. Mujaza nodded eagerly, curling under his blanket. Macera smiled faintly and began, her tone slow, gentle, the kind that makes even the wind pause to listen.
Once upon a time, in a forest where the nights never ended, there was a tiny lantern that wished to see the sunrise. All the big torches laughed at her. "You'll burn out before dawn," they said. But the little lantern smiled and whispered, "Even if I burn out, maybe someone will see my light before I fade."
Her eyes shimmered as she spoke, a single tear trembling before she blinked it away. Unnoticed, Mujiza's little eyes opened for a brief moment. He saw the tear slip down her cheek, and something in his chest stirred. Her voice trembled slightly. The flame of the lamp danced as if echoing the story, flickering in gentle rhythm with her breath.
And one night,
She continued softly.
the storm came. The winds roared so loudly that even the bravest torches hid their flames. Rain fell like broken glass, and the darkness, hungry, merciless, tried to swallow her whole. But the little lantern
Her voice became almost a whisper.
kept shining, tiny, trembling, almost breaking, but alive. Her light wasn't strong, yet it was stubborn, like a heartbeat refusing to stop. And then,
She said,
far at the edge of the forest, someone was wandering alone. Someone lost, freezing, and tired of fighting the night, and when he felt he had no strength left, he saw it.
Her eyes softened, filling with a quiet ache.
A tiny flickering light, just enough to say you're not alone. And that little lantern, the one everyone mocked, guided him home. Not because she was the brightest, but because she refused to disappear.
Her voice broke at the last word. Home. It slipped out like a prayer she didn't know she still remembered. Her tear fell on the open page, blurring the ink, turning the word home into a faint, glowing shadow. Far across the water, Huzur stood on the deck of his yacht Roya, gazing at the black horizon. The waves slapped against the hull, angry alive. He inhaled the salt air, and for a moment, a warmth touched his chest. A feeling like a tiny glow reaching across the distance. A faint echo of a voice, soft and familiar, as if the story of the little lantern had found him too. Mujiza whispered drowsily.
Abla, did the lantern die?
She brushed his hair with gentle fingers.
Maybe, but her light didn't.
He smiled, drifting toward sleep, carrying in his heart the secret of what he had seen, that even the strongest hearts sometimes let fall a hidden tear. Macera closed the book slowly, keeping her hand over it, as if afraid to let go of that small, stubborn light. Above the horizon, a ray of moonlight cut through the clouds, silvering the water around Huzur. For a fleeting second, he paused, breath easing, the storm in his chest quieting. Somewhere, far away yet near in heart, the glow of the lantern touched him too. The room grew quiet. She leaned her head beside the child and whispered to herself, "Maybe I'm still searching for that forest's end." Her eyes closed, the last tear slipping down her cheek, a tear carrying the same gentle glow as the story's final spark. A light that somehow, across distance and night, reached him. An hour later, the mansion slept. Wrapped in the hush of midnight, a thin stream of light spilled from Mujiza's room. Soft, golden, fragile. Huzur pushed the door open gently, his steps silent. He had meant only to check if Mujiza had taken his medicine, but the sight that met him stopped his breath. Macera sat on the edge of the bed, head tilted sideways, hair falling over her face. In her hand, the small open book. She had fallen asleep mid-sentence. Mujiza lay quietly beside her, tiny fingers brushing the edge of her sleeve as if guarding her dreams. When he noticed Huzur,
Shh! Let her sleep, Uncle. She is sick.
Huzur froze.
Sick?
Mujiza nodded earnestly.
Yes, Uncle. She was reading the story to me, and one tear fell from her eyes, but she quickly wiped it. Abla is sick.
Huzur had come to correct, to control. But now, standing there, something softened inside him. A crack he hadn't felt in years. The air smelled faintly of paper, candlelight, and her perfume. Calm, familiar, safe. He leaned forward gently and brushed the hair away from her face, letting his fingers linger for a moment without disturbing her. The book slipped slightly from her hand, and he took it carefully, barely touching hers. Another blanket followed, draped softly over her. He lingered longer than he should have, watching the peace she left behind. A peace no sea, no wind could ever give him. In a whisper, only his heart heard it.
How can someone change in a heartbeat? Sometimes a stone-hearted woman, sometimes a lost child.
He turned off the light, closed the door quietly, carrying with him a silence that no longer hurt. At the mansion, the morning sun spilled softly across the breakfast table, glimmering on polished silver and porcelain. All the Aslan family were eating, with Kelebek sitting beside Jessour. Macera passed by, murmuring a quiet
Good morning.
before moving on, keeping her distance. Huzur glanced at her, his eyes following her every move. She wasn't used to this kind of atmosphere, where everyone sat together, laughing and eating while she always felt like an outsider. Then Sultan Hanım stopped her gently.
Fairy daughter, please, wait a moment.
Macera froze, standing uncomfortably close to Huzur, who didn't avert his gaze.
Come, join us. I've noticed you skip meals. It's not good for your health. You look pale today. I'm worried about you.
Huzur kept watching silently, his voice low, almost a whisper.
I'm the one who should be angry. But why do you look like you're in pain too?
Macera forced her practiced smile, lightly scratching her neck to mask the tremor in her hands.
No, Sultan Hanım. I'm fine, really. I never liked breakfast anyway. But thank you for your concern.
Huzur felt his appetite vanish. He sighed and turned upstairs. Macera stepped into the garden to breathe. Today was not just another day. Today was different. Today was the day her life had started losing its colors. The day she would never be the same Macera again. Today marked her mother's death anniversary. She trembled in her suit until she felt a warm hand behind her, draping a shawl over her shoulders.
It's getting cold, my daughter. Take care of yourself.
Macera looked up at her, trying to hold back the tears that threatened to fall. She scratched her skin gently, hoping to replace the pain with physical sensation. Sultan Hanım spoke softly.
Is everything all right? You look so tired today.
Macera paused, voice trembling.
May I hug you for a moment, without you asking why?
Her words broke Sultan Hanım's heart. She felt the tremor in Macera's voice and opened her arms. Macera leaned in, inhaling the warmth of Sultan Hanım's presence, the comfort she had yearned for, the security she had missed her entire life. Those fleeting seconds felt like an endless shield, cradling her heart in a gentle, magical embrace. Sultan Hanum's fingers brushed through her hair as a single tear slipped silently down her cheek. Meanwhile, Huzur wandered in the garden, stopping abruptly at the sight. His eyebrows rose, eyes wide with surprise, as if he had stumbled upon something he couldn't yet understand.
You said you were all right.
He whispered to himself, eyes fixed on Macera, longing to unravel her layers. "30 minutes later, Macera was searching for Huzur, her eyes sharp and restless, until she stopped Sahar in the corridor.
Where is he?
"In the basement," Sahar answered. A gasp escaped Macera. Without thinking, she ran toward the stairs, her heart pounding like war drums. She paused at the basement door, hesitation freezing her for a heartbeat before stepping into the shadows.
Did I tell you to enter?
Huzur's voice cut through the silence, deep, calm, and unyielding. Without him turning around, Macera froze, words caught in her throat. Her hands trembled as she tried to adjust her suit. Huzur noticed everything. Something about her unease stirred his curiosity. He took a slow step forward, but she didn't move.
You know,
He said quietly.
every time I come down here, I feel this basement buries a past.
Macera gasped.
What past?
Huzur smirked, a faint shadow of amusement in his eyes.
You tell me, weren't you the old owner of this mansion?
Macera scratched her neck and then straightened her posture, trying to hide her sudden flutter.
I think yesterday's fight shocked you enough to make you say nonsense. We have a case to work on, if you forgot.
I didn't forget.
He said flatly.
And I don't know if it's a curse or not, but unfortunately, I don't forget anything.
He stepped forward again, and she instinctively stepped back.
How strange.
He continued, his voice low, sharp, yet attentive to the tremor in her hands.
You live under a thread of lies. I don't even know which of your words are true and which are not.
She stumbled against an old wardrobe. A candle teetered dangerously close to her. In one smooth, almost magical motion, Huzur shielded her head with his hands and gently guided her out of danger. For a suspended moment, their eyes met. Silence. Her gaze searched his, trying to understand the storm behind them. Finally, in a quiet, trembling voice, Macera whispered,
It's not me who lives under lies. It's you too. And your gestures are a question mark I can't solve.
She pushed him gently and hurried upstairs, trying to steady her racing heart. Huzur remained still, watching her retreat. His chest heaved, his own heart drumming wildly. Every beat echoing the same storm he saw in her eyes. A faint smile curved his lips.
I think I'm getting too close to solving this puzzle.
In the evening, the three of them were in the office. Jessoer stood by the small board, pointing at the evidence.
The first fire was set 3 years ago. Then the truth was buried, and the fires kept spreading across Denizli, all the way until the last few days.
Macera and Huzur focused intently. Something deep in Huzur's chest twisted painfully, but he forced himself to stay steady. He wouldn't let himself break again. Macera studied the pictures.
And what's even more strange, all the fires were at Kara's wedding arrangement companies and some at Mr. Jihan Kara's guest houses. What a coincidence.
Exactly.
Jessoer nodded.
And here's the important part. The only person the police have arrested so far is Mr. Kara's only son, Jivan Kara.
Macera's lips curved in a faint smile. Huzur's eyebrows shot up.
When will we be able to visit him?
Huzur asked.
Mr. Harun arranged it for tomorrow.
Jessoer replied. Macera's face brightened. Only work could calm her racing mind. Until her phone buzzed. Her heart sank. It was Reza, unblocked and calling after all this time. Her face went pale. Hands trembling, she stood.
I have to answer this. Excuse me.
Huzur watched her, a prickling sense of unease crawling over him. He followed quietly. Macera's forehead was damp with sweat. She hesitated before answering.
Where have you been? I've been calling you for so long.
You think I forgot? No. That's why I called.
Reza's voice hissed through the line. Venomous.
What are you saying?
She whispered.
Today is that cursed day. I won't let you forget, you pathetic, disgusting thing.
Macera felt a lump rise in her throat.
Neither have I. In fact, you're always here, making me remember my sins.
You think you can escape me, Macera? Wherever you go, I'll find you. That sin of yours, you'll keep paying for it your whole life.
He added, his bitter smile cutting through every word.
I know. I'll never forgive myself either.
She whispered, her voice breaking as the call ended. Macera exhaled shakily. Huzur studied her closely, searching for clues, sensing the storm that had just passed. Without a word, she bolted to her room, grabbed her coat, and ran to her car. The engine roared like a bomb about to explode. Meanwhile, at a dark, distant house, Rayhan was tied up by Reza in a dark, distant room. He gripped her wrists tightly and bound them behind her back, leaving her completely immobile. Her body was secured to a chair, every strap and not tight enough to prevent any chance of escape. Then he covered her mouth with a strip of cloth, silencing her completely. He stood in front of her, a cold, mocking smile on his face.
Try screaming. No one will hear you,
he said, his voice dripping with cruel amusement. The shadows clung to the walls, the room thick with tension. Rayhan's helplessness and Reza's control created a silent, suffocating threat, every second stretching the fear taut, leaving the outcome uncertain. After minutes, Macera drove into the night, seeking her shield, her safe haven, the hill where she could finally find solace. She slammed the Jeep door, kicked off her shoes, and climbed onto the hood, lying there under the vast sky. A cloud of thoughts swept over her with a cold wind, bringing goosebumps to her skin. She loosened her coat, scratching her neck and arms, breathing heavily. She let go of every insecurity, every worry, every burden. Her hands opened wide to the sky, as if waiting for the universe to see her. As if every glowing star held a piece of her soul.
Well, a great place to show your true self.
Interrupted a voice. Startled, she sat up, voice shaking.
Why are you here?
He folded his arms, calm, deliberate.
Denizli is a small city. Get used to that.
Oh, really? So small you can follow me to a dark hill?
She snapped.
You have a point. But sometimes, in the darkness, you can see clearly. Clear enough to unfold secrets.
He muttered. She scratched her neck again, tension rising. He smiled and took her hand gently to stop her.
You know, in psychology, when we hide too much, our body becomes tired, then starts revealing truths through signals.
He paused, stepping closer.
The eyes, the posture, the tiniest movement. The body mirrors the feelings we bury. One of them is fear.
He touched her pulse lightly.
Heart drumming, scratching your neck and arms. All those signs speak volumes.
She yelped.
What do you mean? Fear? Secrets? You know why I came to your house. Why do you keep repeating like a broken record?
His tone sharpened.
Do you think I'm an idiot, Miss Yilmaz? You believe you're a cunning fox, but I can read every sign, every glance, every word. I know you're hiding something very dangerous, something that could destroy you.
Her body trembled, legs too heavy to hold her. She shivered, unable to move.
Days ago, I wasn't even interested, but now I am. I want to know, to see, to discover what is your secret. Macera Yilmaz. And I feel it will happen very soon.
Fact struck, hearts trembling. The darkness mingled with the cold. Harsh wind playing with Macera's hair, awakening the dark corners she had spent her entire life veiling. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel secure anymore. The stars shone down silently indifferent, as if witnessing the unspoken truths between them. A clash of hearts, a storm of emotions, and the beginning of revelations that could change everything.